love it. Pocket so fat, call me orbit.
Alright, everyone. Welcome to Season 2, Episode 2 of the... Brennan? What was that? Why were you... We're just clapping.
Also, Pete, you know your thing is falling down, right?
Yeah, I know. I didn't want to set up the whole thing. It's just too much effort to put the whole thing up.
Brett, I was just clapping, giving it. I like the shirt, boo.
Why were you clapping? Like, what? So rattled.
Okay, just
Can
start it.
I just do a quiet introduction? God.
It's gay. That brings no hype.
Yeah, I'll bring hype.
I don't understand how that brings hype.
Okay, but I'll be better than that.
Nah, like, it adds the element.
No, when you're just clapping over me. Like, no, you can't hear me then.
Alright, ready?
Yeah. Born ready. Alright, everyone, welcome to Season 2, Episode 2 of the Players Pod. We're back at our own homes this time. Giving you an episode with our first athlete of the week in Season 2. We'll get him on later. So, boys, big win for the Natick hockey last night.
Huge.
What do you guys think?
Huge.
First one in 5 years. First one on frame in 5 years.
I know.
Goals all over the place.
Yeah, huge.
Go ahead, Brent.
Huge victory for the boys. Game was very hyped up. Framingham crowd chirping, going back and forth all week. I don't think a lot of people knew how important that game was, that it's been since 2012 that they had ever even beaten Framingham, let alone a close game. Just an absolute electric game. Physical, intense throughout the entire game.
Big hits.
Rising
all
on
over
the
the
scoreboard.
place. Tucker was going ham with hits to start the game.
Yeah, Tucker played unbelievable. Shout out. He might be brain dead after that hit that he took.
Different style out of the boys.
They played like a ton of guys too. So many forwards. It was just different guys like all the time.
Yeah. Like very gritty. Like
I mean, I said that. Go back to our predictions. It was what did I say? I said they're just going to outwork every team.
I mean, yeah. Framingham also just didn't look nearly as good as they usually do.
They had some good players.
They went to the Garden last year, Brett.
Oh, I know. They showed up, but I'm just saying, like, it was Natick won that game. Framingham didn't lose that game.
Framingham was a little better finesse, I felt like. Their goals were a little better finesse goals, and they had, like, moves in the open ice that I feel like Natick, we just didn't have any, like, dekes. We just had big hits, and that's
I disagree with that statement.
There were a couple.
I don't think we had any dekes. The one kid on Framingham...
Dylan and Al, I saw Rick do it. I even saw Pete Manoli make a couple of moves. Definitely, though, I could agree that Framingham maybe had more finesse players, but it didn't really matter. They lost.
Yeah, the style didn't work. Like, the tough style worked out for us. The build-up to the game, too. Schmerden going on what's the word, like, provoking people, trying to get a fight going, doing all these things. And then I thought entering the game, it was going to be like a mob scene. Cops everywhere. Pretty contained.
I didn't know, honestly. And then you just had the hype already around Framingham and Natick. And then the coaches, like, you saw at the end of that game when Natick won, kind of like, I don't know, it's just like, it's just a huge rivalry every time. And, like, there's just chirping from everyone, parents, coaches, players. It's just everyone gets into it. I'm just glad we're on the winning end, finally.
So the big build-up, this is going to be our first segment of the day. This is called Young Men or Grown Men. Young Men, Grown Men. It's a phrase that a lot of coaches like to throw around. I'm teaching young men, but here at the Players Pod, we don't want to be young men. We want to be grown men. So the argument is, what kind of guy are you in the fight? Everyone was hyping it up like there's going to be a big fight. Nothing ended up happening, but we saw people coming in with hot takes like Brennan saying he's like the lead guy in the fight or something like this. I don't know if you said that.
No, I didn't. You just pulled that out of your ass.
That's debatable. He might have said
You
it.
said you were getting right in the mix.
All right, let's get going with the segment, and I'll give you my take.
All right, go ahead then.
All right,
Give us your take.
You want me to start?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want you to start.
Go ahead.
Who? Me?
Yeah, you go ahead.
All right, what am I saying here? What I would do in a fight?
I got it. Okay.
I mean, I've said from the start, if I get mad enough, I could take anyone.
No, you're not going to do anything.
Yeah, you're a runner.
Yeah.
I guarantee that. You would run away.
Oh, I'm a runner 99% of the time.
Okay, so you just said you would take anyone.
That's if I'm angry.
If you're angry, if you fight angry, you will lose the fight 100 times out of 100.
No, that's false. That's a terrible statement.
No, it's not. If you fight angry, you
just pull that
up.
No. If you can be controlled and still angry.
What are these sayings that you make up?
No. If you get too jacked up. You start throwing punches. You shouldn't. You're just wailing. You get tired.
Yeah, but
I'm the guy that'd go after someone's leg. Go after someone's leg. Hit him with a. I'm not gonna lie. People throw cheap shots. I'm not against cheap shots.
Oh, huge cheap shot guy. Yeah.
No, you guys are losers.
Let me give you my take on it. This is what I do.
Alright, fine.
If it's a big group, I'm not in the middle. That's guaranteed. Because in the middle, that's where you get a cheap shot. You get like a backhand, like out of nowhere punch, sucker punch. You get to the outside, you find your matchup, and you just go one-on-one with him. That's what you do. You don't get in the middle. That's where the chaos is. You go on the outside. Not a runner, but not in the middle.
Keep in mind here, audience, that none of us have ever gotten to a fight. Ever. So, these are just hypotheticals.
Again, it's a whole scenario thing. I think it's a case-by-case kind of deal.
All right, let's say two Framingham kids pull up 2-on-1.
Are they my size?
Yeah.
Yeah. Your size, maybe a little bit. One's a little bigger, one's a little smaller. It evens out.
If you have no reason to fight, why fight?
Yeah, that's the other thing. I'm not trying to.
That's why I'm saying if I have no reason to fight someone, I'm gonna be a runner.
I defend myself, but I'm not gonna run.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a weird thing.
I'm getting out of there.
Yeah, but then if you leave someone behind and then they get hit, then you just look like a little bitch.
That's true. I don't think I'd want to leave someone behind. But also it depends on case by case, person by person.
It's true. This is true.
I would never leave a potty behind, but
I don't know. From what you're saying, it's...
Yeah, you're a runner.
Yeah. Brett be gone. We'd turn around and Brett would be gone. And Pete would just be on the outside, even though there's no outside. I don't really know what I do.
What do you mean? There totally is an outside. You know what I'm talking about.
Two people. How are you?
You're talking about a big scrum, though. You're talking about 15 kids.
That's what.
That doesn't really count.
That's what we were talking about. If the hockey game turned into a fight after, it was going to be a big scrum.
You don't know that. Could have been a parking lot.
Well, no. Then it would have just broken up into little fights.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying. That's what Pete's saying.
All right, so I'm with that. Yep. All right, I like that.
But you just don't. You stay out of the middle. You can still get in the action, but you're not.
I'm not seeing this middle though. You're picturing two like Hollywood type of fight where it's just a middle and then there's people on the sides fighting each other
Yeah, because that's the only fight I've ever seen.
Very valid. Very valid. I don't know. I feel like all three of us wouldn't have done anything.
Nah.
I don't know.
All right. Our next segment.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I didn't want to talk.
Well, we know. Okay, yeah.
No, it's fine.
You don't have strong opinions. You don't have.
Yeah,
you said you wouldn't know what you want to do.
Middleman Brent.
Okay, this leads to our next.
You're always that guy. Give us some hot take. Give us, I'd knock a guy out. Give me something like that. Don't give me, I don't know what I would do. if you have two guys coming up to you, you should say, "Oh, I'm running," or I'm flipping this guy over my head, I'm sucker punching the other guy, hit him with a karate kick, some shit like that.
All right, it's tough, but it's good. One of our new favorite segments. Castle's Corner comes out. Well received. And
Sure,
now,
just go.
Now,
no. You want me to take this?
Yeah, you take this.
All right. Castle's Corner comes out. That's a whole new audience that we're attracting now. Now you got parents, you got teachers kind of coming up to you. They're posting articles on Twitter with our picture. For those of you that didn't see it, not a big deal. We're all over the place right now. And that brings in a new audience. So you know what? It's great stuff. You know
that we're getting a nice audience.
Huh?
It's great. We got a nice big audience, different people, big platform.
But it's tough. It's tough when I walk into my math class. Shout out Miss Pillai, and she's wanting me to talk about math on the podcast.
Yeah.
Well, that's tough. That's the thing. When you get big, you have to.
So our original purpose in this was that we stayed
for high school kids
about the school and whatever, but we didn't want it to become that we couldn't say. I mean, Brett, I think, or say not say whatever we want, but like didn't want that. That wasn't our audience.
Well, we made this podcast. We made this podcast for like high school kids, their lifestyle, stuff like that, so they could relate to it. And I think like now we've grown to like a bigger platform where we got like parents, teachers. So like it's tough because like they can't connect as much, and like maybe some of the things we say they might turn differently than like you, like the audience, like a high schooler. But it's good because like views are views, and like having someone from Natick, anyone from Natick listen to our podcast is great.
I think it's more tough than good. More tough than good because we're not bringing in new views. Like, you think Miss Pillai is gonna continuously watch this?
Hey, I don't know. Don't talk about Miss Pillai like that.
I don't know her, but like, you think she actually listens? Probably not. She just like
nah. She just saw it.
Yeah, like that's what we didn't bring in a new audience. Like, people just like.
So, but then
know
so you're saying
us.
that, but like, so then they're not gonna follow us anyways. So then it's not really tough.
No,
so
but it's like if we want to expand, then they're not our target audience.
Well, you're talking about hypothetical. If we expanded, it would be tough.
If we expanded, we'd have to change the entire show to not be about Natick, which I've been thinking for a long time. But
I don't know.
All right, there you go.
But at the same time, we're running out of the clock of us being in high school, so it's like we would have to make big leaps.
High school forever, man.
That's also a tough, but it's good. Like, we're getting all our views.
Save that.
You're right. All right, well, this concludes this tough, but it's good. Now we're going to take you to our interviewer with the junior forward, Ricky Mingalelli.
All right, we now welcome on Athlete of the Week. You may know him. You love him. He's known by many as Ricky, Richard, Rick, Dick, Dickie, Dickie Mingo. Any of those apply. Welcome, Ricky Mingalelli. Great to have you. Athlete of the Week. Hero for Natick High Hockey. Game winner against Framingham last night. Electrified the crowd with under 4 minutes to go. Scooped some ice. Threw it all over Framingham. Dick, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, no, thanks for having me.
Ricky, walk us through the final goal. How did it happen?
Well, actually, my dad records on my shift, so I was able to watch the whole shift. But started off, I curled in our own zone, and then had a rush and almost put one in earlier. And I kind of went around the offensive zone, and Tucker Green had it on the half wall, and we passed it back and forth a few times, and then one pass came to me, and I knew I was shooting it right away, and I got it and shot it and went in.
So was this before or after Tucker was brain dead when he got rocked against the board?
This was after that.
After, okay.
That was in the second period.
All right, okay. Framingham, obviously a chippy game.
Yeah, I got
after.
some.
Oh, Brett's got one.
Yeah, so no, Framingham, definitely a chippy game. They had a pretty good turnout. I don't know if you hear anything that they're saying or anything their players were saying, but was it a lot of chirps thrown around?
I mean, I know they were chirping Jack Canny a lot when the defensemen were down at that end, and he loved it. He was chirping them back, so that was pretty funny. I heard about that after the game, but there was one time where some kid, some pretty ugly kid, said something to me, and I started chirping him back, and then I kind of shut him up, and I'm pretty sure, I think both fans sections got pretty riled up, but I just remember the Framingham fans banging on the glass and like trying to yell at me.
What was your chirp on the kid?
Just kind of funny.
What was your chirp? What was your one-liner?
Well, I mean, he had braces, so I just said, "Look at your braces, kid. You're in high school."
Classic.
And then he told me to shut up, and then I had to chirp his hair because it was long and curly and ginger. So.
Oh, that was your guy, Pete.
Oh yeah, ginger pubes. That's what I was calling him.
I had to chirp his hair, and then he just skated away, and that's when both fan sections started going crazy because I was pointing at him too at the same time. So
I got a mean chirp on that kid.
Yeah, seriously. Speaking of hair, you got a head of hair yourself. So how do you manage your lettuce?
Brett needs some tips on this one. He's really been trying to work on his hair.
All right, relax.
Well, I'm not sure if we didn't do the mullets for playoffs every year. I'm not sure I would have this long hair. But it's pretty simple. Just kind of wash it every other day.
Every other. That's
every other. Every other. I've learned from you may know him, Isaac Tolino. He has pretty nice hair. Learn from him, and you wash it every other day. I use 2-in-1. It works just fine.
I don't trust 2-in-1.
Wow.
You don't?
Nah.
You're getting the inside.
I don't trust it.
I'm a big 2-in-1 guy.
Yeah, 2-in-1's fine. And then a little bit of gel in the morning before I go to school, and that's it.
You're a gel guy, huh?
Just a little bit.
Wow. I wouldn't take that. All right, that's fine. Little.
Actually, there's no gel in it right now, so.
Yeah, it looks pretty shitty.
So, your impressions, you said the two student sections were getting pretty fired up. Nobody wore white last night, kind of upsetting.
Yeah.
But what was our grade? You had to give a letter grade on the student section. First game.
Can I do a couple different categories here?
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously the colors probably a D or an F. I mean, I'm skating around in warm-ups. I see people wearing like black. That's the opposite of white. I don't know what again.
That's tough.
Loudness, that was for sure up there in the high B's, low A's for sure.
Wow. All right.
I just remember when Miga scored that first goal. It was insanely loud, and then my goal was also insanely loud. So that's a high grade for sure. And then I wasn't expecting that many people, to be honest. Even though it was Framingham, the snowstorm didn't seem to stop anybody from coming. So that was also good.
Pete, anything?
Yeah. Different role this year, Ricky, for you. You changed lines this year?
I did.
What's it like?
What's the thought process behind that?
Not thought process. What's it like with the new line, I guess?
Well, and the thought process, like why was he switched?
Shut up.
All right, I'll start with the what are my thoughts on the new line? Well, I think David Drew and Peter Manoli, two new guys coming into the team. They knew they had to work hard to get up there, and I wasn't really expecting it at first, but then it turned out to work pretty well because unit is just our line. So I think I'm fine with it. They're good players.
Shout out Pete Manoli, golf team partner. Dick, you also switched numbers.
Yes.
Reasoning behind that? Very confused to see you not wearing 26. Is that what it was last year?
Yeah, 26. I just didn't really like 26 that much, to be honest. And also, the jersey size was a dress on me. So I don't know what it was. For some reason, I like 14, and I know like Ethan Landon wore that last year and whatever. But I just like 14. Jersey fits well. I think it's fine. I think it's fine.
All right, Ricky. So going into captains now, obviously you got the Arnos and Jack Godet, but focusing in on the Arnos, do you think this year Twin Magic will be stronger than ever?
I think it has the potential to be. I mean, I know in the summer they played on that Mass Titans team a lot, and they seem to be playing pretty well in that. Very good teams, and last night they played very well with Chris Burns as well. So I think that they'll be very good this year.
How about Reisner's goal? What are your thoughts on that? Nice goal.
I mean, kind of a dirty one, to be honest. I mean, he gets like a slap shot, and I think it almost hit him, and then he just put in the rebound, and yeah,
it was a nice celly.
Yeah, good celly for sure.
All right, Ricky, thank you for coming on. Hell of a game. Way to get the dub. First time in 5 years.
Yeah.
Couldn't have done it without that the lettuce. So thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Good luck the rest of the way this year.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, episode 2. Wrapping it up. Going to end on the quick close. Episode 2, season 2. We're on a grind. We're improving each time. This is a process. Trying to make it work. But I've been pretty heated about a couple of things, so we're gonna end it on a quick close. I'm gonna fire out a couple of thoughts. Pete or Brett, put me on the clock.
All right, go.
All right, couple other accounts starting around. The shoot around, Nick Harvell and Mr. Chan. People are calling it a competitor. No, get out of here. Not a competitor. We squash them 10 times out of 10. What's the word? Also, completely different to us, but whatever they're doing, weenies. Weenie Hut Juniors. City. That's all that is. But Players Pod is king.
All right.
I did that in under 30. That was a goal.
All right, that's it for today's episode.
Pete is mute.
Make sure to check us out on Instagram at the Players Pod. Thanks for tuning in.
Wait, Brett. New YouTube channel. Didn't plug that.
You're right. New YouTube channel. Go check it out. Link is in our bio on our Instagram. So, again, check out our Instagram at the Players Pod. And we hope to see you next week.
Later.
Brett, Peter, and Brennan, we'll see you.